Welcome back to the city of Korvosa. Or is this your first visit? No matter. The Curse of the Crimson Throne welcomes one and all. This actual play is a dark fantasy full of grim and grit. We at RollTales recommend that you at least be 18 years of age before joining us on this journey. 7 Days to the Grave contains mature content and a potential reminder of recent history. Discretion is advised. The dice will give and will certainly take. Lift the veil or seal your fate. 7 days could be all you have. The grave awaits. The grave awaits.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the game. So, the last time we played, we concluded the underwater dungeon of the Larric, a sunken Nidalese vessel which was under investigation by the party as a potential source for the blood veil that is sweeping Korvosa. To sum up quickly what the party found, it was not a plague ship at all. It was instead a trap in the form of a sea hag called Yevika, who was planted there at the request of another. This other told Yevika that this would be an easy job, but the party proved to be anything but. It was actually Ronan who landed the killing blow, which terrified the hag in her final moments as Yevika seemed to recognise the source of Ronan's power. Despite this red herring, information was still gathered at the Larric, so it wasn't a total literal wash. This came in the form of a watertight footlocker that belonged to the late captain of the ship, a man by the name of Rios. He was provided with a diplomat's badge with a note in case the Korvosan guard caused him any trouble. A note that was written, I had forgotten to mention last time, in beautiful handwriting and signed by one who identified themselves as A. The note also instructed Rios to destroy it once he had read it, but he did not do this. A book that was also inside the footlocker provided some insight into why. It was a copy of Serving Your Hunger, the religious text of the Pallid Princess, Ugafoa, unholy goddess and the first undead to ever exist on Galarion. Yet this copy of Serving Your Hunger had blasphemy committed upon it. For every instance where Ugafoa's name was written, it was crossed out and replaced with another name, Andiasen. Upon hearing this name, Zalara spoke into Lou Duskbrew's mind and informed him that this is why the Harrow choose him in the reading. He knows the name Andiasen, and he knows what she has done in the past. A village in the country of Nadal, called Biarandi, was destroyed by Andiasen. Her weapon of choice in Biarandi's death was bubonic plague. And that is where we're gonna bring the game back in. Okay, so you are still at the Humanexis Pier, identifying items that you found at the Larric. However, you've just finished looking over this copy of Serving Your Hunger, and Lou, you have that flashback in regards to your time in Nadal. You weren't there for Biarandi's destruction from bubonic plague, but you did see the aftermath. You and Sensei passed by Biarandi on your travels. Now, for context, before we get on with today, I've got some cool art to show you. We've brought up Nadal a little bit during the span of this adventure. However, although it doesn't have an active part in Curse of the Crimson Throne, I thought it would be worth showing some artwork of what Nadal looks like. After all, Lou has been there, and this was the home of Ronan's grandparents. So, let me show you some pretty cool art. Does that come up for everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This artwork is of the Nidalee capital of Pangolaris. And this artwork was made by Federico Musetti. I can't speak today for some strange reason. But yeah, this is artwork of the Nidalee capital. What do you think? Kind of a kooky place.
I like it.
I'm getting Anne Orlando vibes.
Oh, good shout. Very good shout. Never thought about that, actually, but that is very nice. But, Greg, you can probably see why a fetchling is comfortable there for sure. The light level. Hello?
I may have been muted. I may not have. Depends on who you ask.
But, yeah, but in all seriousness, though, you can see why a fetchling would be comfortable there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The muted light and everything. So, yes, that is the country, or that is a piece of art depicting the country of Nadal by Federico Musetti. Okay, so Alex, let's start with you and Lou, because this name in the journal, you know. So let's start with you today, Alex, mate. What's your reaction to all of this?
I think after hearing that and having the sort of film over film rewatching of cinema when someone's having a flashback rather than cutting away is going through his mind on what I saw, what I know of the history, and I sort of stagger backwards, like I've had a week in the pub basically, and I feel sort of uneasy and queasy, and then I'm connecting all different dots if she happens to be involved or someone associated with her.
There's some magical items to identify. Greg has just made a he's just made a arcane tradition roll, 18, and that's just going to carry over onto both of the two remaining magical items. The first magical item that Greg managed to identify was Seeking Bracelets. Basically, these pair of bracelets share between two party members, consumable, one use only, and what you do is if you crush the largest bead on one bracelet, it alerts the other person. So it's like, it's basically a pager, a mystical pager. So this has a unlimited distance as long as you're on the same plane of existence. Meanwhile, the salts you identify as, are you firing salts? Consumable, interact action to use. You can apply this pale eggshell powder to one outfit, one object of medium size, or up to 10 smaller objects in the same space, such as jewelry, to make them appear gilded for 1 hour. If used as part of making an impression on an audience swayed by expensive clothing, it makes most clothing or jewelry seem worth 10 times more than what they actually are. Only someone who closely expects an effective item notices it's not real. If you apply the salts to an object made of metal, the metal softens like gold, reducing its hardness by 4 to a minimum of hardness 10 for 1 hour. So you can perhaps do some funky things with that. But that is your magical items identified.
Interesting.
Yeah, not a bad collection. So we have an SOS signal thing, a diplomat's badge, which could be handy for anyone who can talk to people, and some fancy salt. Remember not to put into food, it would probably be bad.
Although, I suppose by the magic of the salts, the food would look really nice.
It would look great. Apart from you trying to put it in your mouth and your fork would kind of go all bendy on you.
So, so this is just gold leaf then? essentially.
In a way.
Half a piece of gold
contest-wise.
leaf.
That one.
Really good
What's
gold
that,
leaf.
what's that geezer's name? Like, holds his hand fine and then puts the salt on the food.
Soul Bay.
Oh,
Yeah,
that one.
it's like that.
Curse of the Cooking Throne returns, everybody.
Fucking
What's
law.
the weapon damage die for the short spear, Mark?
The weapon damage die for the short spear that your vicar had on her. I believe it's. Let's have a look.
Possibly a d6, 2d6.
Let's have a look.
70.
It is a d6.
Cool. Is anyone else after it?
Not me.
I mean, I've got a striking spear, so it's probably going to be the same thing.
It's one-handed, isn't it?
It is a one-handed
Yeah,
weapon.
you can
Yes.
Cool.
I mean, you can use- you can-
have it.
Yeah, go for it. I mean-
disarm.
No, it does actually specify short, so yeah, it's going to be just a one-handed item.
Who are you
Yes.
calling short? I'm a dwarf. I'm tall for my ancestry.
I'm a dwarf as well.
I thought the
taller
dwarf
than
calls
you.
a dwarf short. Oh,
Oh, you can change it to a
Alright, fine.
two-handed grip. No way.
Yes.
Oh, how's that trait? Fantastic, yeah.
I'll have you know, you young whippersnapper, I am half a centimeter taller than you.
It does. It
Oh,
doesn't have.
it's a two-handed weapon. Cool.
No. Oh yes. It's This is a weapon that I had to create because the short spear didn't come over to 2E. So it's been changed from another weapon. Yes. Hold on. No. Hold on a second. Let me change.
That's cool. I'm not. It's not. I need it. So if it was there, it's there. It's not. We'll just flog it. Unless anyone else wants it.
You can do, but for some reason it hasn't come out correctly. Or is this the one in the party loot? Because I'm
this
looking
is
at
the one in the party loot.
Yes.
Yes.
That short spear. Sorry, the one that your vicar had on her is slightly different. This one that is for loot purposes, it's a +1 striking spear. It's meant to be a d6 worth of damage. Just checking my conversion notes here. Yeah, it's a d6 worth of damage, but the trade-off is it's a one-hander.
Two-handed.
It's a one-hander.
Hmm.
Because it's a short spear. And also,
Cool.
unlike a regular spear, it has the disarm trait, and it also has the finesse property. So the finesse property and the versatile slashing property as well. All right.
So the tip is long.
Yes. Because the end of this spear is like a shovel, like blade.
What
Oh,
dwarf
rod
doesn't
spear?
love a shovel?
Indeed.
Okay. Looking at your party stash as well, I will also say start sorting your stash out and who's having what or whatever, because what I'm going to rule from now on out is anything that's in the stash is obviously stashed at a secure location, but if it's not on you out and about in the field, you cannot use it.
Well, when I had the session when Paz wasn't here, I took that bit of armor that we had,
Yeah.
and I said that for him he could have the 2 moderate health potions, because that was part of that last bit of stash.
Alright, awesome. So there's 2 mods there for Paz.
Mhm.
Alright.
I think that water breathing one was his as well.
Yes, I'll remove that. That one's been used.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we
Those
ever going to
healing...
use... Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say those healing potions were not used. I'm gonna grab those.
Yeah, they're not used.
What's the phantom roll?
That was
that was
that was given to you by Maria. Basically, it gives you a boost to avoiding notice.
So who wants the scroll?
Yeah.
I think it has to be a caster, isn't it?
Yeah,
A primal caster.
Yes. It's almost like I set that up for you, mate.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Me?
And also
Emerald
there's
spell? Never heard of them.
and also there's the Darrow Wizard's Diary that can give you a +1 item bonus in regards to investigating Blood Veil when applicable.
Do we just want to stash that somewhere until we need it?
Yep. That's what the stash is there for.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I mean, if we classify somewhere as a communal stash area,
Well, a house.
yeah, like
Well, are we keeping stuff, or are we just gonna flog what we don't use?
We're going to keep the diary.
Yeah, the diary.
I don't know if we're going to use the poisons.
Just bringing this up
No,
for
we
people who are joining us via YouTube as well. Just brought up the stash so you can see what we're talking about, trying to sort out.
Well, it's not a bad set of poison, to be honest.
True.
I can't use them, but then the lethargy poison's quite nice. So's the centipede venom. It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
And they have been converted to proficiency without level as well, those DCs in them, so they are correct. So the giant centipede venom is DC 17 fortitude, and the lethargy potion is DC 18 fortitude. Which is
Are we
pretty
going to
tasty.
actually use them? Are you not going to use them? Because I can't really.
Well, this might be my my inexperience, but could I coat my sword in the potion?
Yes, you can.
Then I'll take them.
Because
in fact, Paz, I'll throw back to another game we did. I silvered a sword where I poured the silver solution into my sheath. So you can pour that into your sheath and then draw your weapon, so it's already coated.
Ooh.
yeah. For example, Paz, when you look at those poisons, where it says activation, it says it gives you the action symbol of how many actions it costs and interact, and then it says in brackets exactly what that is. So for those poisons, it says injury. So they're meant to be applied to weaponries. Weaponries?
I
That's
see.
great. Yeah, you know what I mean. Though.
Gotcha. So injuries is like is just a tag that's basically says, "Hey, you can put this on a weapon."
Pretty much, yes. It is called this potion is applied through injury. So, you have potions, you have gear, and you have information to provide. Where do you want to start?
Didn't we say that we were gonna go back to college to have this dispelled?
Yes, because we're walking around with flippers.
Dispelled, and then we probably be a good idea to report or to the marshal.
Yes, I've taken recordings of the vessel, so best show her.
Alright, then feel free to make your way over to the Humanexus College, where Overseer Kello will definitely be waiting for you. In fact, when you get back to Humanexus, it's just coming up 1 PM in the afternoon, and Kello is surprised pleasantly to see the four of you back so quickly. As you walk into her office, and "Are you already done?" she says.
I mean, we did only have an hour of water breathing from you.
We
No,
are
got
also
that from the
professionals.
potions. We got an hour of waterproofing from me. We were down there for about 2 hours ish.
Well, regardless, very good work. Did you find out anything useful down there?
Apart from it being a trap, no.
Well, we found out quite a bit. In the case of that, there was nothing there.
Excuse me? Nothing on a plague ship?
No.
Nothing at all?
Nope. No fungus, no mold, no disease, anything. Just a rather cranky water hag.
She looks
And
at
her
you all
two
as-
fishy companions.
Yeah, she just looks at you all astounded. What the hell's is going on around here then?
A deception is my thinking.
Hmm.
A red herring?
Mm-hmm.
But why?
Draws the
Draws the eye.
Yep. So, you want to spread a plague or whatever, and you want to hide the source. What do? You put out something very obvious that everyone's going to believe, and draws the eye, say, hey, we sank it. We've dealt with the main issue, now we just have to clear up anything else. Stops the panic, but lets your plague spread quite nicely.
Kello crosses her arms. The good trick to any con is distraction and deception. Oh. So there was a hag waiting down there for you.
Mm-hmm. She was instructed to wait for us.
This whole blood veil, are you getting at that it's... Well, although I'm not surprised, humanoid made?
Let's just say it has a very Birandy feel to it.
Birandy? What's that?
Oh, where is it held? Nadia?
Nadal.
Nadia? Nadal.
Yes.
It was a sort of vibrant township in Nadal until it was overrun with undead plague victims, and that everything was destroyed very quickly.
Wait. So, somewhere in Nadal was destroyed by plague, and that's got something to do with the Deription? What?
We found a rather interesting cookbook which referenced a name that was basically the cause of Birandy.
Also, this note.
And a lovely prayer book, because nothing can come wrong from involving Ugafoa.
You've got a copy. You found a copy of Serving Your Hunger.
Yeah.
My religious knowledge is, well, only everyday schooling, but the Pallid
Don't worry,
Prince.
me too.
Well, the Pallid Princess is no joke. She spat in the face of Pharasma's judgment and tore herself from the boneyard with a feat of will that not only returned her to the universe, but also transformed her into the first divine undead creature. I know... Well, I know little else than that, I'm not going to lie. And if anybody would like to, they can make a religion check on Ugafoa if they are trained. Open rolls, it's absolutely fine. Okay, we've got some rolls coming in. For some reason, roll sound effects are not coming across today, so apologies to listeners and those joining us. But we had 2 religion rolls so far. We got Ronan. What did you roll, mate?
Only an 8.
Okay, Lou just rolled. What did you roll?
I'll meet your 8 and raise it by 10. 18.
And then Larric's
Gosh.
just chipped. Yeah, Larric's just chipped in as well. What did you roll, Larric?
Roland, 15.
Okay, so Ronan and Asher, despite Asher's atheism, what you know about Ugafoa is just the base facts about her that Kello has just shared. To Lou and Larric, you know a bit more about Ugafoa. You know that Ugafoa and her followers do not dread the flaws of mortal flesh, such as aging, disease, or even death, for as long as they indulge in excess above all else. Ugafoa was once a mortal woman who challenged and rejected the tenets of deities, whose followers expected mindless conformity, temperance, and restraint, and Ugafoa's primary areas of concern are disease, gluttony, and undeath. She's not a very nice goddess. As a matter of fact, oh, well, yeah. I'll share this as well, how effed up Ugafoa is. Her depiction is of a woman who is naked flesh from the stomach up and skeleton from the waist down.
Nice.
How do you spell that?
Ugafoa. Yes, here we go. I'll put this into the game chat. Okay, there we go. Ugafoa. Urghathoa.
Now to go look up an image.
Oh. So they got a death moth. Oh, that one goes hard. Okay, that
Well,
goes
based
hard,
on your
dude.
description, I can fix her.
That's pretty metal.
She is pretty metal,
Gosh,
but yeah.
That one.
Not in fairness to Ugafoa, not a lot of people have got the gall to spit in Pharasma's face.
Ah,
So, getting back into the game, the realization dawns on the party, even to those who know the base information, that this is not good news. Putting two and two together, it's not hard to figure out that this Andiasin, whoever she is more than likely some follower of Ugafoa. As we bring the RP back in, Kello will say to you all, for God's sake, just a couple of years ago, we had the cult of Nograbar trying to poison the nobles of Corvosa. That's who Cressida drove out of the city. There's none of them left at all, thanks to her. And now it seems like Ugafoa wants to come and have a go because she thinks she's hard enough.
and I think she's giving it a pretty good run, considering how fast this thing's spreading.
Well, I do not know the name Andiasin, but if she has committed such a terrible crime that Lou is mentioning, then I bet you Cressida does.
From
Right
what I
then.
can remember. Sorry.
Next stop then.
Thank you for everything you've done, and thank you for the information you've shared. The spell will be dispelled from your feet, and let's see, Ronan, I shall contact you via message spell once I need to call in my favour.
Sure.
Don't worry.
If I
Yes.
could have a moment of your time, there's one more thing.
Oh, of course, please.
Speaking with my sensei, at the Jade House, he has recalled knowledge of a seafaring town called Sandpoint, where a sort of necromantic fungus was being used to convert people to an alternative mindset. It has a sort of remnant, so if you do find sort of any sort of fungal areas around the college or the East Bank or anywhere, stay away.
Will do.
Or at least be safe from it.
Oh, you're talking about the Voral's phage.
Yes, that's it.
Yes, this we know about. Not directly Sandpoint, but more nearby, a place called Foxglove Manor. There was this merchant priest, not priest, there was this merchant priest several human generations back who fancied himself a bit of a wizard. Varel Foxglove was his name. He tried to become a lich, but, well, he buggered it, and through his, how could I put this, reckoning, his own reckoning, that created the Voral's phage. Yes, yes, Cressida consulted me on Voral's phage about 8-10 months ago. Apparently some people were trying to smuggle it into Corvosa.
Ah.
But she managed to nip that in the bud. It was the same cult of Nograba that I told you about. They worship the Skin Saw Man in particular. They tried to sneak Voral's phage into the city as a part of their poison plot. Well, revenge for their poisoning plot. But she managed to stop them there as well.
And that was 8 months ago.
8 to 10, yes. I don't know a whole lot about it. I was just brought in as a consultant, and I must admit a lot has happened since then. So I can't exactly remember, but yes, 8 to 10 months ago, the cult of Nograba, a Skinsaw cult, tried to smuggle Voral's phage into Corvosa. Fun fact that only Alex, Ben and Greg will get, that was the shipping records that Ironbriar had on him when you found him.
Ah. Nice.
So she says, if you want to know a bit more about that, thank you for the warning, but I know a little bit about the phage. I know how to protect from it, but if you, Cressida knows a bit more about that as well, but I'm fairly confident that none of it got into the city.
Well, at least we know people who are up to date on it. But still be wary if some had gone through. It may have been altered.
She nods. I will keep that in mind. Thank you for informing me. So, where to next from the party? I believe that scene is concluded.
This is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Got a report in.
Rinse and repeat.
Rinse
Okay.
and repeat.
Well, she may have some slightly different information to give you, but we'll find out. I will say, for honouring the agreement at the Human Nexus and with Kello, you earn a total of 80 experience points.
Ah, FV20, I see.
And a hero point will go back into your pool as well for your honouring the agreement, so you're back up to 3 points in your pool.
You said 80, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Who was that person we had to find from the college who knew stuff about the killer guy?
That was somebody from the academy. That's
Found it.
Yes,
Victoria DeRosa.
Yes. She works at the
Cool.
academy.
So let me just circle that.
All right.
Because I
So-
write it doesn't mean I'm able to read it.
Oh boy. So, you return to Citadel Volshnek and you report in to Cressida Croft. You find her today actually out in the courtyard with a long line of civilians lining up next to a wagon that is being looked after by 2 champions of Abadar, and the Abadarian cleric Ishani Datri is there, and Ishani is in the process, as you join them, of handing out anti-plagues to the people of Corvosa, conversing with Cressida, who is watching this whole scene. Floor is yours.
Good day.
Oh, hello. Nice to see you. Nice to see you're back. Have you completed the direction assignment yet?
We have.
Oh, fantastic. What did you find? Ashani, please, keep on handing out the anti-plagues to the people, and yes, come with me. And she just takes you around the side of the cart because she has to keep an eye on this, but she wants to hear the details, so she just takes you out of earshot. So, what did you find?
Well, no, not much.
There's a story to tell, but before we left, I recorded all our findings on this. We can show you when we have a bit more time.
Why not now?
Well, you're keeping an eye.
Lou, there isn't going to be any time during this period.
That's
Let me
fair.
see it. Let me see it.
And I hand her the recorder. I didn't know if it was a... This is to Mark now. I didn't know if it was like a projector or anything, or like a kaleidoscope sort of thing.
I'm going to presume... I'm going to say a kaleidoscope sort of a deal.
Okay. There we
You
are.
know, like those old
Scratch all
cinema
that then.
reels they used to have at the fun fairs, at the carnivals.
Mhm.
So she looks at it and she says, apart from a lot of chum, there's nothing down there.
Empty crates, a unpleasant and waiting sea hag.
Yeah, I see the
And,
body. Is that an delete
as you-
symbol?
It is, yes.
What? What's going on? That's... What did you... Something tells me that this ship's deliberately empty. Oh no.
When she confronted us, she said, she told me you would be coming.
They.
Was it they or she?
Yeah, she wasn't referring to
I watched
Ronan's whole, like, thing.
I watched it back. It's she for both.
Oh.
It was she
Yeah.
for both incidents, because I was wondering that as well. So I just watched back last session and in preparation for today, and it was she for both.
Well, I'm wrong then.
I had the issue. I couldn't. I heard he,
I heard she.
and then it was sorted out that it was she told. So, yeah. So the ship was no doubt just full of zombies to begin with, and purposely sunk.
Well, the Dr. DeValuis has confirmed that evaluating the bodies of the zombies that were defeated and destroyed, they were not carrying the blood veil. So the ship was a red herring.
Yep.
Yep.
Did you find anything else at all?
Yeah.
I hand her the note.
Only one
Or the letter.
person was piloting the ship with a bunch of zombies.
By the looks of it.
Yep.
Where
Or at
the
least from where they were docked to where they sank.
Where the hells did they get a diplomat's badge? Can I see it quickly?
Sure.
She takes a look at it. That's not just any diplomat's badge. This is the Drake's mark. This is a diplomat's badge of Corvosa. These are not just given out. I personally award these out as special commendations. Mark for a second. Think of equivalent to... Yeah, I'm just a military medal.
To the city.
Yeah, that's another good shout. But a bit higher than that. As I'll bring it back into the fiction, she says, I only give these out as special commendations.
Do you have a list of people you've given them out to?
Of course.
So can we just like go down the list, and if they don't have the thing, we just book them, bring
Or
them in?
missing.
Yeah, like if you don't got it, you're coming with us.
Well, please, you've already done enough. Please allow me to do that. I can do that tonight. That won't take me long, and I can let you know what I find. But, yeah, she looks over it one more time. This is not a good imitation or a fake. This is an actual Corvosan Drake bark.
Less than ideal.
Would you like some Grey Ladies guard us some backup? They could do with like a good role model for appropriate behaviour at the moment.
Thank you, but no, your organisation has to stay neutral, a bit like the Abadarians. You're neutral for a reason, and you have to keep within those lines. I appreciate the thought, though. It would help, but, well, unless
So
the
if
balance...
someone takes a side, others take a side, and then before you know it, it's just two factions standing against each other.
Well, the Graveguard in this case, they are established by Pharasma, and Pharasma is the end judge of all. But the teachings of Pharasma, and the Graveguard by extension, as Pharasma was the one who established the Graveguard, was to remain neutral in most incidences. So, you're exactly
Most.
right, Asher.
Another tidbit for you. We have uncovered a lead in the whole Keylot killer thing that's also happening.
Okay. Does this have something to do... Don't get me wrong, Rolf's important, and he's blatantly got something to do with this all. But is this linked to the Deription?
I mean, if you take this as like the whole issue, then I would say so. The duration, the boat itself, no, but nothing much is linked to the boat itself because it was empty.
Damn, I was hoping the boat would have some other lead as well.
It
Oh.
does. It's not the best one.
It's very unpleasant.
What do you mean?
By chance, do you know of a person named Andiason? Maybe a worshipper of Ugafoa? Bringer of bad news, plagues, and overall a bad time?
Cressida does something that you've never heard her do before, and to the long-term players of this game who was in part 1, something she's never ever done. She swears at the name Andiason. Oh, fuck. Please tell me you're kidding. You're not, are you?
This
I'm
would be a
afraid not.
horrible time for a joke, man.
Is that who A is? How do you know this? This is important. How do you know this? She is an internationally wanted criminal.
Because I've got a Bible-ish with her name in it.
What?
Serving your hunger?
Yeah, but that's a
Ugaphone is being crossed out with Anderson.
Well, this guy was a little bit obsessed. Destroy this note and he doesn't destroy it?
Unless he didn't have time.
It was in a waterproof chest.
I am sad to say I'm not surprised that Anderson is potentially behind Bloodveil. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of suspected it, but needed evidence before proceeding forward. You see, about a year ago, I was warned after Anderson... Right, for those of you who don't know, Anderson is an Ugaphone follower who specialises in plagues and diseases. She wiped out a whole village in Nadal. She's a wanted criminal there.
My sensei and I had passed that. It wasn't pleasant.
You've been to Nadal?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm a well-adversed world traveller.
Well then, you probably know the name of the village you might know the name of your village then. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Bo something. But there's quite a sizable bounty on her head. And about a year ago, I was tipped off by a fellow adventurer such as yourselves that Anderson did have her sights set on Varicia next. Where in Varicia, he didn't know, but he knew she was coming here. As a matter of fact, I think he's still in Corvosa. What was his... Ah, yes, right. That's the name of the village, she realises, because it's a part of his name as well. This adventurer's name. He resides at the Temple of Many in South Shore, and you can often find him at the Kendall Amphitheatre. His name is Beltane. He was the one who warned me about Anderson. I mean, I got the news about Anderson from obviously international channels, but this adventurer, he has had personal confrontation with her. He's from the village she wiped out.
Well,
one more thing. I can never remember Croft's title.
Field Marshal.
Field Marshal, that was it. There's one more thing, Field Marshal. After reminiscing with my sensei over, I just said it, Verandi, he spoke of something that might have happened similar in a place known as... and oh my god, that's gone out of my head as well. Sandpoint. Thank you. Involving a phage?
Oh, the Voral's phage.
Yes. And apparently you yourself dealt with smugglers bringing them in about 8 to 10 months ago?
Yes, 9 months ago, in fact. How I got my position originally was I stopped a poisoning of a mass gathering of nobles by the cult of Nograba. One of the 3 aspects of Nograba, the aspect of murder. the Skinsaw cult. I stopped them and I drove them out of Korvosa entirely. They tried to bring the Voral's phage here as a part of a revenge plot.
The smuggled items, how were they destroyed?
By fire.
Good. No, from what my sensei has said, and the connections to the keylock pillar and everything we explained the last time we saw you, I've been thinking if something of that caliber has been brought into Korvosa and altered, perhaps there may be other means to this blood veil.
You thinking something engineered?
It was documented in that Darrow's wizard's book that they were working on something. Perhaps they acquired some of this phage and altered it in some way. If not in a combination with Andiasin.
I wouldn't be surprised. Thank you for this information. I will inform Dr. DeValuis and his team at once. My men are still patrolling, keeping them safe as they continue their sweep throughout the city. A lot of my men have been getting sick. However, the coordination between all the temples is working out well. Even the Church of Abadar is being more generous than usual. So I will inform Dr. DeValuis of this at once. Well,
I'm afraid to say the Jade House has also suffered with a few students who have come down with it as well.
Blood Veil seems to be affecting the north of the city at the moment in the poorer districts. I don't think it'll be too long though before it makes its way down to the southern end of the city. If Andiasin is truly involved in this, and I have no reason to disbelieve you, then I suggest you either... Well, my recommendation would be to find Beltane. He is the literal expert on Andiasin. You know the old fables about an antagonist and a protagonist being mortal enemies? That's pretty much those two. Beltane found the village. So, he's made it his life's work to hunting her down. And from what I understand of it, he came to Korvosa a year ago to recuperate from an encounter he had with her there. So if you wish to know more about her, he's your man. But you've done me a service and reward as promised. So, party, for completing the job for Cressida, you take 120 experience points. And you are awarded the second half of the payment, a total of 40 gold pieces, so 10 GP for each of you.
Nice.
$220 and 10 gold, yeah?
120 XP, 10 gold.
120, okay.
So where does that put you up now? 440 or so?
440.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Halfway there to level 6. Nicely going. Alright. So, what's next, team?
That's it.
What time of day is it?
Yeah, now coming up to, I'm going to say after the chit chat with Cressida, it's about 1:45.
I mean, we could always go find this geezer.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, we'll start off at the temple and work our way.
Yep.
All right. Then.
Where is the temple again?
The Temple
it's
of
in
Many.
the south.
Yes, it's in the South Shore district,
North,
which
east,
is
south.
yeah, it's just west of the
Southwest.
Grey District.
Oh, cool. Could I just pop in to see the bishop, just to basically let her know what's going off at the moment, and then that like and I'll tell her about the sort of the Ugathoa stuff we found the connection to, because that seems important.
That's absolutely fine. Bishop de Bear, upon hearing about Ugathoa's involvement, especially when it comes to the undeaf aspects of Ugathoa, just looks at you, Larric, and gives you full instruction and authorization to find the root of this evil and stamp it out.
Oh,
But she appreciates the update. And so, we'll bring the scene back in. We're going to say that takes... Yeah, I'll say that'll take about an hour, doing a proper report in and all. So we're going to say it's about 2:45 when you get to the Temple of Many. And the Temple of Many in the South Shore district is a big building. South Shore is essentially the new money district. So if you make it in Corvosa these days, South Shore will probably be the place that you will want to end up and live in. For example, adventuring can earn you quite a bit of coin. With that coin, you could perhaps very easily, by Adventure's End, live here. The Temple of the Many is a massive building. As its name implies, it is a temple of worship to all other deities of Golarion that is not primarily worshipped here in Corvosa. You get to the gates, you're invited in. Larric's uniform also certainly helps. And if you ask for Beltane, an assistant will point you to a small, dark corner of the temple. A corner that has been dedicated to Zonkufon, the god of pain. He is the brother of Shaylin, the goddess of beauty. And, well, Zonkufon's history is interesting. He was once a god of beauty, much like his sister. But then he went to what was only described as a dark place. And when he came back, he was forever changed. Now, Zonkufon believes that pain is pleasure. Macabre art. I suppose, to give the shortened version of Zonkufon, he's the god of BDSM, macabre art, and occultism. No one knows what happened when Zonkufon went to that dark place. But the most interesting fact about his history is there is a code to him. There is still law. The best case in point is the country of Nidal. When the cataclysmic event known as Earthfall happened several thousands of years ago, Earthfall was basically meteorites smashed into Golarion. Zonkufon protected Nidal. He made a deal with the is it 4 or 3? I think they're called like the Black Tribunal or something like that. Basically, the elders of Nidal begged to their old gods to spare them from Earthfall, but Zonkophon answered, and now that country is under his patronage. So Zonkophon is not really welcomed in a lot of places, but yet the Temple of Many holds to its ideals. And when you get to the Zonkophon shrine, you basically enter a gothic macabre space. Skulls lining the walls, and who you find there is actually a heavily armoured elven woman, powerfully built, and she is wearing heavy armour that is literally adorned with spikes and chains. This elven woman is metal AF. As you approach, she says, "Hello! Welcome to the Shrine of Zonkophon. My name is Leori. What can I do you today?"
Hey neighbour, not here for any sugar. I'm here to try and find someone, if you can help.
No sugar? Oh, what a shame. You look like a sweet little thing. I wouldn't mind sharing some sugar with you. Oh, sugar and a night of whips and chains would be absolutely perfect. But you're looking for somebody else. Who are you looking for, sweetheart?
Beltane. Beltane?
Oh, you're looking for Beltane. Oh, Beltane of Biorandy. Oh, nice man, nice man, nice man, nice man. He stays here. As a matter of fact, he's looked after this shrine a lot longer than what I have. But, yeah. Not a lot of places that people from Nidal can stay here in Korvosa. Well, not openly anyway. But he's not here today, my dear.
Do you know where he is?
Oh, him? Oh, you'll always find him at Kendall Amphitheatre. Today he's there listening to some, Varisian prodigy? Some kid who's an amazing, he plays one of those, I would call it a flute, but it's not a flute, an ocker something?
Bagpipes?
No.
Ocarina?
Oh, that's it, that's the one. Oh, that's the one. Oh, another cute little dwarf. Awesome. And then she actually notices Ronan properly for the first time. And she switches to Shadow Tongue and she says, "Oh, fantastic. It's a long time since I've been able to practice. Leori Volus, at your service."
Hello, I suppose. Ronan.
She switches back to common. So sorry. It's just I rarely get to speak in the native tongue. But still, you from Nidal? There's a slight Nidalian accent to your Shadow Tongue.
Ooh, I've been there for years.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you descended? One of the ones who left because of Cheliax's BS.
That one.
Ah, right, I got you. Oh, wow, fantastic. Oh, I must admit, seeing you reminds me of home a little bit. I do miss home. But regardless, I am so sorry. It's just nice to have some company again after so long. But you're looking for Beltane. Mr. Rosie, I call him. Yes, he's at Kendall Amphitheatre today.
Cool. Alright.
Thanks for your help.
Bye then.
Yeah, much obliged.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
No problem. I hope we get to meet again. You seem like such nice people.
I feel like you say that to everyone.
Maybe I do, but what's wrong with being nice?
Indeed. Perhaps we can catch a drink sometime.
Asher gives her an nod. I know, right?
It could make you a liar if you're not careful.
And just for the record,
That
just
would
remember.
be one of the problems.
And just for the record, I want you to picture this for a second. This is a girl with a sweet... no, that's incorrect. This is a woman with a sweet and cheery demeanour, but yet she is wearing spikes, chainmails. This looks like a woman who should walk up to you, punch you straight in the face, and say, "Do you want some more?" But instead, she's like the complete opposite. So, Leori is a very weird contrast.
Metalheads are the nicest people I know.
Yeah.
True fact.
They will elbow you in the face and then apologise instantly.
Very true.
Oh, that was a fun night. That was great.
So, Leori turns around and says, "Well, I hope we meet again, and if you see Beltane, send him my regards."
Will do.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so do you head to Kendall Amphitheatre?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
Sure.
It's not far from here, just literally off to the northwest of you. And the theatre today is not that busy. However, there is still a performance going on, and this performance is taking place due to the fact that the people need a distraction. The Blood Veil hasn't really come this way yet. Maybe there's been 1 or 2 cases of it, but generally the people around here can afford treatment for Blood Veil. But yet, the amphitheatre is doing its best to ease hearts and minds with a very rare free performance today. As you make your way there, you ask the staff of Beltane if he's there, and they do inform you that he is. You actually find him on a balcony overlooking the bottom of the amphitheatre, where something akin to this very song that is playing right now is being played. But instead of an entire musical accompaniment, who you see is one Varisian boy, no older than 18 years of age, playing a single ocarina and using occult bardic magic to add this musical accompaniment. It is literally gently echoing throughout the entire of the amphitheatre, and it's very beautiful. All of you actually recognise who the boy is, believe it or not. He is a known Corvosan celebrity, a prodigy of the ocarina, a Varisian boy by the name of Ruan Mirukova. He is famous AF. Varisians, a bit like the Shuan-Ti, have a hard time of it in Varisia due to the Chelish settlers. The Varisians have kind of a reputation for being lies, swindlers and cheats. Sometimes it's deserved, sometimes it's not. But to see this young Varisian boy getting this level of fame and accomplishing something like this, especially here in Corvosa, is pretty darn amazing. It's the reason why all of you have heard of him. Meanwhile, Beltane is watching Ruan's performance from his balcony seat. You find a Ayuvaran male who is adorned in nice but practical clothing with a light purple cape and hood that he keeps up and over his head. He has soft features that have been, I don't want to say, what's the best word I can use here? Affected by the things he has seen. long strawberry blonde hair that goes down his shoulders, which is starting to grey. But due to the elven half of his blood, he still looks facially very young and youthful, clean shaven. As you approach, he says, "A talent for sure, isn't he?"
Oh, most definitely. I could meditate to his music anytime.
If that's what you're into, yeah.
The amphitheatre is not so busy today. So coming up to this balcony, I presume you're here for me. Beltane of Biorandy at your service. What can I do you for?
Well, sorry to disturb your afternoon of delight. But we would humbly ask if we could ask you some questions on. Oh God, where's my notes? Anderson?
He looks at you. Has she affected your life as well?
Not personally. I myself have travelled past Biorandy and was upset about what had happened. But there's a potential that she could be affecting the current situation.
You think the Blood Veil is her work?
In association, perhaps.
I would not be surprised. Please, sit. Tell me your names. I'll tell you what I can.
Much obliged.
So, look at us. Yeah, do you want to introduce
go on,
yourselves? No, I was going to say, do you want to introduce yourselves, or for the sake of speed, shall we just say the introductions are made?
That one.
Yeah, we'll get comfortably sat and shake hands and whatever.
Oh yeah, I shall. I'll mention it here. Here, there are tears in Asher's eyes because of the music.
Awesome.
Here's a tissue.
Thank you.
Before we get on with Beltane, any reason for that? Do you want to share, mate?
Yeah. So, backstory, yeah.
Your backstory. Also, I'll say this to the other players as well. If there's anything you want to share backstory-wise, I know I like to keep the pace moving, but feel free to cut in like this and share away, and I will give not inspiration. I'll give hero points away for it and stuff like that. So, yeah. What's going on with Asher then?
The music is reminding him of his wife, who, nowhere near as good, also played the ocarina. And, well, it's his late. It is his late wife. So he is, getting that the emotional flare up when you hear something that reminds you of something you loved.
Alright, awesome. Very nice, very simple, very to the point, but very, very nice. Your hero point pool is now back up to 5. 1 for that sharing, and also 1 for completing the quest from Cressida that I've got to mention from earlier. So, yeah, Beltane looks at you and he says, "Are you quite alright, Mr. Domhnall?"
I'm fine. We have matters to discuss.
Yes, a beautiful sound though, for sure. Very moving. Helps me, actually, soothes my soul from everything that woman has done. And now you believe that she is responsible for what's going on here in Korvosa?
Yes. We have been asked to look up certain issues around the city, including the Blood Veil. We just, this morning, excavated the sunken ship in the river. And You found evidence regarding her name and her presence.
Let me guess, the ship was a red herring.
Nailed it.
Yep.
A common term today.
Well, one, the GM couldn't think of another word, and two, in character. That's Andiasin 101. On your travels about the city, be on the lookout for a Death's Head. It is a container. Yes, it is a container that can be made into any shape. A treasure chest, a footlocker, an urn, a coffer, anything you can think of, a Death's Head can be converted into one. It is a special magical device that anything that's placed inside it is maintained and put into stasis for as long as the enchantment holds. It's also Andiasin's modus operandi in regards to transporting such plagues and infections. When she wiped out Biorandi, she did it by using a Death's Head in the shape of a storage crate in the center of Biorandi, an opening in it.
Ah. Okay.
Woman's
There's
got
plenty.
yes.
Sorry, these death heads. Would the box itself be the container, or something within, like an additional layer?
Whatever is inside the container can carry whatever disease Andiasin wishes to carry. It's just the magic can take any shape and form. For example, let's say your bag there, Mr. Duskbrew, with the right enchantments and the right tinkering, that could be turned into a Death's Head bag.
You see.
So a Death's Head can take any form and any shape, and whatever is inside it stays nice and preserved. For example, in the container that contained, well, in the Death's Head that contained the bubonic plague, it was actually laced among a supply of alcohol that was being used for a military celebration happening in Biorandi. The village was...
Now I start crying.
It was a Nadalian military village, a place of quiet for those who loyally served the Umbral court. My parents were third-generation military. We didn't get on, though. I had no intention of following in their footsteps. I wanted to be an artist, you see, and live a life such as Ronan has down there. Not mindless conformity in the service of Nadal and Zonkafon. However, I ran away, return home, find it completely wiped out, dead. All that was left was a powerful stench and a singular sigh. A calling card that Andiasin was here.
A stench of death, or a particular scent?
Beltane looks intently down at Ronan. His features have hardened. The stench of a village of over 500 completely wiped out.
See. Give me.
Do not worry. It's fine. What else do you wish to know about her? The scythe, for the record, is her weapon of choice, hence why she left one behind. She wanted to make a statement. She attacked Biorandi because it was a statement. an Ugathoan statement towards Zonkufan. Nothing else you wish to know?
I'm thinking.
Mm.
Anyone else want to jump in?
I'm also thinking.
So if I just do a quick recap whilst my companions are thinking, general just I got so far is look out for a magical item that can be anything that is storing the plague.
Yes, Beltane believes and knows from personal experience that is how Andaisin transports whatever respective disease she is using into a location.
Any clues or hints on how to track this item down other than it's magical and it's a container of
It can be
some
anything.
sorts?
Beltane will look at you and he says the following in response to that. Well, in order to attack a city this large, Andaisin will need the help that is beyond the cult of Ugathoa. She knows how to put the pieces together, but needs someone who knows anatomy, someone who knows alchemy, and someone who's experienced in alchemy. Long lifespan experience, or as it's Ugathoan, perhaps an intelligent undead. And then...
What about... No, he doesn't fit the bill.
And
No,
then
Might
someone...
as well say it.
Yeah, no, go on. What is on your mind, Ronan?
No, he doesn't fit the bill. He hasn't lived that long, so he doesn't fit the bill.
Oh, I see.
Oh, Blarmy boy.
Mm.
Oh, the Keylog Killer.
Mm.
I've
Wait,
heard
was
of
this
him.
just like the whole like everyone knew was
Yes, he's that
Larric?
famous.
No, I got like
Yeah.
I like can I?
Yeah, go.
No, that's what I.
Yeah, it's crazy, but the Keylog Killer is that famous. It literally, even if you move to the city, the stories of the Keylog Killer, he killed over 36 people. It's a very famous story, if a very dark one.
Yeah, it's basically like Jack the Ripper, right?
Pretty much.
But he took steroids.
Beltane continues on. He says, so, she'll need help. She generally employs somebody who knows anatomy. She'll employ somebody who knows alchemy with vast experience. And she generally has an aid to spread the plague around her targeted location.
Asher looks at everyone. You think our targeted location might be in the north side of the city?
For starters.
To begin with, but
Panic
is that
the
just
poor and-
another red herring? Like, hey, let's make sure everyone focuses on that side while I spread it somewhere else, or keep my base of operations somewhere else.
Didn't he say that the disease was spread in the drinks handed out?
It was in
Demonic.
crates. Like, it was in crates that had alcohol.
Doesn't mean it
Yeah,
was
didn't say-
in the alcohol.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
The bubonic one was spread with alcohol.
Yeah, but the disease, plague, whatever you want to call it, is spread, but like it's hidden within something that is passed around without thought.
Yes.
Potentially.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
So
Beltane.
that could decrease our search. If what we're looking for is something you're not going to like. Obviously, them blokes in that military camp aren't going to question a bunch of alcohol because hey, they want that. So you know, if you want something, you don't question where it comes from as much as if you're like not that interested.
something that's both common to touch for the poor as well as the rich. Without
What
a
does
single
everyone touch then?
Well, I know what I touch, but I don't know about everyone.
No.
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 Beltec, through your research, would it be you said the death's head is the container itself. Would there be any other sort of ways to what's the word? Distribute the plague?
Potentially,
would it be touch?
yes.
Would it be consumables?
Well, the plague is transported in the death's head itself. Once the death's head is open and the disease is out there, then usually, hence why she needs an alchemist, she likes to make it more virulent, so it's easy to catch.
Well, we can see she's done a great job.
Indeed.
But what she did in Biorandy, because we had people of several different ancestral kins there. Small, but we were a varied community. She used somebody with anatomy, so she could overcome resistances and weaknesses. Alchemy to make the disease more potent. And then she had an agent to spread the plague around in the Death's Head copper. In this case, the deliverer of the alcohol crate.
Did you just say copper?
Coffer.
Coffer?
Coffer. A small container.
Mark here, did I just say coffer?
I heard coffer.
I heard
heard-
copper.
I heard coffer as well.
Sorry.
I think we're
sorry.
going deaf. I can't really hear anything.
Yeah, sorry, I've just, I've had a long day today, folks.
Not the only one.
Yeah, no. Right, where I was going with that is somebody transported the crate in,
Yeah.
who was working
So,
for
no-
her.
Yeah, so what I was getting at is once the crate itself, or whatever the death's head is, once that is open, the plague is released, not what is in the containers like bottles of alcohol. So it could look like just a normal shipment of anything, but when the death's head is open, then the plague is released.
Beltane nods to you in regards to that if you say that in character, and he says, yes, all depend on the matter of, well, when the Death's Head is open, the preservatives stop, the preserving magic stops, and the disease is what's the word I'm looking for? Transferred, passed on, however the individual disease is.
Dispersed?
You can either breathe it in, it can either be touch.
We know that this one isn't in the air, though, don't we? Or do we?
We don't know anything about this.
If it was the air, there'll be more people breathing in, and the east side will have more affected as well.
Same with the
As
water
well.
supply.
Yeah.
Here, when it first kicked off, when we was like going through the streets, it was like it was more sort of people from the northern areas that were like congregating and being affected, wasn't it? From the very
Yeah.
beginning.
Yes.
Oh.
It was at the Bank of Avadar, wasn't it?
Yep.
Wait,
So,
But where is the Bank of Avadar again?
wait a minute.
Middle north. Out of game for a second. How long ago was it that the Bloodvale had its sort of first going round?
You had some downtime, so
Yeah.
it's only literally been a couple of weeks off the top of my head. Your downtime was about 11 days, right?
Oh, that, yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, the Bloodvale from early whispers 14 to 16, maybe 17 days. That's what's so dangerous about it. It's literally moving and killing that fast.
Right. So the Blood Veil started after we all got together. The sort of mock execution and the first night of the knights coming through.
Wasn't patient zero for us? That person that I knew from
The girl from Grail's End.
Yeah, that one.
The girl, yeah.
That she was our like patient zero, basically, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty
When
much.
we discovered, yeah.
Yeah, and
The one from Abadar was dealing with already infected
Yeah.
already.
But that was the only one they was dealing with.
So prior.
So should we
To
go and
the
talk to that guy from the Bank of Abadar, who's my best friend, who really likes me, because he's
Yeah.
like, he was like, he isn't the first cause, but you know what I mean. Like he had contact with her while she was ill, but
Yeah.
before we knew she was ill, if that makes sense.
No, I don't think he was coming to treat her, but
Yeah.
didn't know anything about. He hadn't seen her before.
No.
Right.
No, he was told about her symptoms from her uncle.
Yes, Growl Soldado knows Ashani as he's one of the regular. The Kavaisan Guard and the Bank of Abadar have an agreement, an arrangement, and Ashani is one of the main clerics who treat the Kavaisan Guard. So Growl knew him. Breeze got sick, so Growl asked for help from Ashani. Although Ashani was limited, hence why he was pretty cut up with what he could do due to the tenets of Abadar.
Yeah.
Because
Didn't Ashani also mention that there had been other minor cases when we talked to him at the festival?
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, we healed her before we went off to that tavern.
Trots.
Meet up with Trots, yeah. And then we came back the next day
She was fine.
and met, and she was fine. And then that's when he turned up because we were all participating and having fun at the little mini festival.
Yes. Right. So.
We
We
just
know
go
how
and speak
long-
to her.
My question is how long was it before they were setting up for the festival and when we healed her?
Same day.
Same day.
No, I mean from now. How many days back? Because that was after. That was
Oh,
before
it's
we had
over
our
a week.
downtime. Yeah.
Lots and lots.
I would say about 13 days.
That was 13 days. Right. Okay.
Because you had 11 days of downtime just after that, and then Maria got sick. You went to the Bank of Abadar, met Ashani, Larric slagged him off, then you took him to Citadel Volshnek, got the job, then you spent the next day dealing with the Schwanti problem, and then the day after that, which is technically still today, you've dealt with the Direction. So 13 days.
I would just like to point out I prefer the term aired my grievances with their doctrine, other than slagged off.
Edge your dirty washing.
But right, so we have the working theory that this plague is on or in something. It's it's not like, aha, plague. It's, hey, here is the item. Now you have plague.
It's something that everyone touches. Common.
Yeah. So
no matter
why
what.
don't we just quickly run up, go and see her, and just
I
chat
have
to
a
her?
theory.
Go.
quick question: are we talking in character, or are we just talking amongst ourselves?
We can do this in character, to be honest.
Yeah.
I see it as a bit of
If-
both.
If Beltane thinks something's viable, he can almost jump in with it.
Asher's
I've
gonna,
got a theory as well.
Asher's gonna pull out one of the coins that we got. Something that everyone touches.
Yep.
Currency flows through the entire city.
Oh. Do you
Majority,
remember what
but
she said?
the Bank of Abadar did say that they were minting new ones and having them sterilized before they went out.
Yeah, but what about the
New
old
ones, but old ones are
True.
still in circulation.
Because do you
Yeah.
remember what she said? She picked up a bag of money she found in the middle of the floor in the city.
Who know?
And who others are also inclined to pick up random bags of coin on the floor? Those that
Need it.
desperately need it.
Yeah. So, if I were an evil, maniacal, crazy lady, and I wanted to spread the plague, and I want everyone to get it, I put it on some money and I drop it abound.
Or
First-
or have the death heads be a coin purse,
Yeah.
and then it
Yeah.
being on the coins, spreading it thanks to this. There's a alchemist fella they have.
I think that's a great theory.
Right, let's go kick some doors down, get some answers.
Coin purses work. It's just the date.
I don't think the date really matters because it was here already.
Yeah.
that we know of. I mean, we had the coronation, the issues, the rioting. There was one different factor with that, which came by the river.
Beltane will chip in at this point and he will say, well, this could be, or could have been, in the works for a long time. Attacking a city of this size is not easy to do. Attacking a military village, that's ballsy. But a whole city?
Didn't you warn them, the field marshal months ago that she was planning something?
I first arrived here to recuperate from an encounter with Andiason. During that encounter, I discovered her next target would be Varisia.
How long ago was that?
A year ago now.
And how long do you think it could take to plan this? About a year with preparation?
That is more
Plan
than
it.
fair to say.
To plan it, not long. To actually get things moving, executed, and produced, up to a year.
Hence the help she would need for this. She would have to gather the resources, and she would have to have some very powerful connections.
So she's been at this for a while.
The badge holder.
The badge holder.
I personally thought she was going to strike at another town. I didn't think she would actually have the gall to attack a city. But then again, after you create an army of ghosts, what's there to do next? How do you top that, I suppose?
A city's population of ghosts.
Well, that's what Biorandi is known as now. The clerics of Zonkathon have confirmed that the tormented dead who were killed in Biorandi are now known as the Army of Ghosts who hunt Andiason. However, Ugathoa's blessing protects her from them.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes. Do you gentlemen remember the aura we saw in the Dead Warrens?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, where he couldn't pass on.
Yeah. Birandi has that same aura around the whole of the city.
And let me just put this into Barandi. Yeah, the people who died in Barandi.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's put this like this: the whole Dead Warrens was coated in that void energy, and that was from one person. What's a village of 500 going to be like?
Well, if a village could be trapped, yeah. This is
No one really ventures there unless they have means to help or other reasons. It's basically a no-go zone.
Last time I went there, I saw my parents. And I'm talking about their angered spirits. They weren't happy. And he's saying that with a bit of a no shit tone in his voice.
I nod in agreement.
Cool. So, our working theory is it's in the money.
One
Yep.
theory,
Bank of
it's in
The Bank of
Concord.
Abadar may or may not be to blame. That's a
not
personal thing.
Yeah, it's a personal thing.
So, like,
That
what's
is
our
personal.
plan moving forward
That's
before
very
that?
much a
Obviously,
personal
hey, look, they suck. So what's our plan of action? Like, what are we aiming to do now? Are we going to go tell some people, or do we want to actually take action and try and put a bottleneck in the spread and then get the right people on it?
Problem with
Well,
the
can I-
bottleneck is we don't know how far it's already spread. It could be
Yeah.
across the whole city.
But I mean, if we can just get to the Bank of Abadar, stop cash, and then
Stop
go,
trade.
and then go. Yeah, just go to the Bank of Abadar. Just stop people exchanging money. Tell everyone just to drop it. You know, well, not literally drop it. But you know what I mean? Just close all the tellers. Tell everyone who works in their vaults to sort of go home, and then we can sort of get that new doctor guy, get the
Close down the markets, close down.
yeah. But like if we can just go and stop at the Bank of Abadar, and then we go and speak to the field marshal to get her to take things forwards. You know what I mean?
think
I feel
speak
like
to the marshal first, because
It
the
would
Bank
be
of
a better-
Abadar can only stop currency that comes to them. They have
yeah, no,
no
exactly.
control about everything else.
Yeah, if
Oh,
we go
but
to the marshal, she could, well, insert martial law and.
will
I
exercise
just
some
feel
authority.
like
That's
the
not going to
wheels
be
of-
much.
I
the
will
wheels of
interject here as
democracy are
Beltane.
seldom greased.
Yeah, no, I will interject here as Beltane, as he'll turn around and said, stopping the coinage is not a bad idea, but there's probably no need for that now. Remember, once the Death's Head is opened, the preservative magics fade. And what was laced, well, if you're saying it's caused by touch and the coinage, then surely what was laced on the coinage has died by now. But then again,
And now
it's
People
done
spread
its
it.
job.
Yep.
It's. I am liking the coin purse theory. It makes sense because that would be the container. Passing it from person to person, you have to exchange hands, etc., etc. But there's something at the back of my head, and it's just I'd have to meditate on this for a few hours and gather what information we have. As they said in the bank, they smelt their own money. They were recasting new coins to distribute to everyone because they didn't know if it was the coins passing it to everyone.
Because Ashani did tell you that there were clerics in the Bank of Abadar and staff who were getting sick, even though they had no interaction with the infected.
Like but like Beltane just said, the coin started it, but they're no longer carrying it.
No,
You know what I
the
mean? So,
people
like,
are
I
carrying
get-
it.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying about how it's like, they are recasting. Yeah, but they're recasting after this disease has already been spread through the coins. So they're not actually solving any problems. It's just a thing that's happening alongside it.
Yeah, the virulency of the disease itself is probably now spreading towards person. Hence why it was probably reminding Sensei of Aurel's phage.
Larric.
It's me, yeah?
Yeah. Brother of brother. Are you from a mining community by chance?
Oh, dwarf questions. No.
Well, I come from a mountainous region, and there's plenty of mining there. What springs to mind is if there's people that are unaffected in the bank that are being affected now, the only thing that they'd be contact with is whatever they're being brought to smelt new coins. A container of ingots.
Oh, I mean, I would also say just old currency.
Or all currency, but it would have to be transported in something that's secure, so no sticky fingers get onto it. You can't just walk around with a wheelbarrow of coins.
Well, let me interject here, and because I like to do this for anyone who's joining us. I like to do this for the sake of speed. Let's go over what you already know. So it started off with Zalara's reading, and she told you that there were 4 who would bring something horrible towards Korvosa. Now, you've identified 2 of the 4, I think it's fair to say. The one who is perhaps the mastermind behind all of this. There's Rolf Larm, who's involved in this, out of the person who knows anatomy, out of the person who knows alchemy, and out of the person to transport this around. That's yet to be determined, but you also, a hint I would be prepared to give is you have 2 of the 4, and if you can think of what their roles are in the 4 things that are needed that Beltane's mentioned, maybe try and think about the other 2 as well as causes of investigation. You know, alchemist, someone who knows anatomy, and someone, you know, if someone brought this thing in via coinage, you know, who could drop off coinage to the lower classes.
Well, I want to put out there that Lam was studying necromancy, so you'd have to have some sort of knowledge of atomy, so he can jigsaw his way back his corpses. That's 1.
Now, my question is: in Dyerson, the transporter, is she the mastermind?
Beltane will look at you and she'll say, she'll be the mastermind. Even if she is, shall we call, yes, let's use the term, even if she's a hired gun. Because there was reason to suspect as well that Beer Andy's destruction was actually a targeted attack by an enemy. This got proven false in the end, but it was a working theory. Even, yes, forgive me. She's the mastermind. I'm confident of this. She knows how to take the elements and put it all together.
So we need to focus on the alchemist and the transport then.
The transport I have a theory of, and I'm not liking it if that is the case.
Wasn't there a disgruntled student from the academy?
Rolf Lam.
No, yes.
Yeah, they
You might
Didn't
be
they-
thinking
they
of
chucked them out to
Victoria
someone.
DeRosa, who has info for us, potentially.
Well, you've definitely got several.
quick-
You've definitely got several avenues you can use here.
A quick question for the GM. The Orcery Academy.
Second.
The academy located on the map underneath the jailhouse.
Ah, yes. The Academy is in the Heights District, north of Castle Corvosa. It's that great big massive building. It's literally...
I'm talking about the one east of the palace.
That's Orsini.
Orsini, thank you.
That's Orsini Academy, beg your pardon, yes. The Arconas are another prominent family in Corvosa. They are a trading family. Very rich, very powerful, and champions to the people of all Corvosa.
Okay.
We'll come back with our Beltane then, as he turns around and he says, if Andiason is here in Corvosa and behind this, please come and find me when you go to send her your regards.
Will do.
I will say this. If you can cut the head off the snake, the rest will fall.
Where's the head hiding?
Knowing her, she'll be hidden in plain sight.
I just realised we had one question we never asked. She is a noted criminal from the east. We don't know what she looks like.
We could always ask Casida.
Oh, Beltane's right here.
Oh yeah.
He came up against her. Can you give us a description?
Human female. About 5'8", 5'9". Beautifully deadly. She's in tremendous physical condition due to the teachings of Ugafoa. She likes to live life to the excess. Pale white skin, long dark blue hair. She carries a scythe, as I've mentioned, as her primary weapon. Long heel boots. She looks like she likes to step on people and enjoy it. There is, I will confess, a sickly beauty to her. One that represents death.
I had a brainwave about the alchemist potentially.
Go on.
The doctor just turned up, didn't he?
Wait, the doctor,
from the crown.
wing?
Yeah, the crown brought in the doctor.
If you're going that way, my theory on transportation helps as well.
What's your theory?
That all the death's heads were brought in during the riots by the Hell Knights.
Ooh.
They were in every single area. They could have put something there or had something stored away somewhere near the castle.
Beltane laughs. I'm sorry, Lou. I do not mean to laugh at you, but that I would find incredibly amusing. The Hell Knight Order of the Nail at the Citadel of Raid are all about order. This disease is causing anarchy. This is everything they stand against. This disease could potentially become savagery incarnate. if the hell
that is a
if,
point.
if the Hell Knights are involved, it would be a rogue faction.
But if it isn't the Doctor, he would have to know decent enough alchemists that could do it.
I'll tell you what, says Beltane. Continue your investigations, and then come and find me with information you will have, and we can share information some more. This upcoming Star Day, I'm going to be at Carwyn Manor for one of the famous Carwyn parties. Primarily because Ronan down there, he's going to be playing there. I'm kind of a fan of the young man. If you wish, you can come and find me at the party, and we can exchange information in a few days.
That sounds like a reasonable thing.
Well then, if we have no more business this day, thank you for informing me of Andiason's presence here in Corvosa. And with that, he actually makes a motion with an outstretched hand, and as he does, a scythe appears in his hand as he brings it across his face in a motion of display towards you all, and he says, "This was her message she left in Biorandi. I fully intend to return it to her."
And so you should. And so you will.
Well, they do say you reap what you sow.
Oh, don't I know it? Don't I know it? And on that note, I think that's where we shall close.
Real quick.
Oh, go on. Yes, no, okay. Just in time. Go on.
Asher gives. I just remembered Asher. Your promise to give this cheery spike woman. What was her name? Yori. Give him your regards.
He looks at you and smiles, kind of lightening the mood, and he says, "Oh, yes. She's not long been in the city herself, that woman. A cheery one, isn't she?"
Very.
You wouldn't think of her as a follower of Zonkathon, but then again, there's something about her, is essentially what I'm trying to say. There's something about her. But thank you for the message. I shall be seeing her tonight, no doubt. If you wish to find me again, as well as the Carwyn party this weekend, I also stay at the temple, but I think you already know that. Not a lot of places in Varissia where someone who can come from the land of Zonkathon can reside peacefully.
True.
And I think with that is where we will close today's session for tonight. Alright, so you got some leads.
Yeah.
And there's one last XP award before we get out of here for today, for identifying 2 of the 4 in Zalara's reading. 15 experience points each. So another 30 in total.
30. Okay.
So 470, yes?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, you're at 440, 470. All right. So, next session, the party have several leads, and it's going to be a question of where they're going to take it next. Let the hunt begin.